And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. We greatly appreciate you spending some time with us, supporting the show. We had an uptick in calls last week. People reaching out, wanting to know more about different areas of our show. Also called me on a couple of listings. I appreciate that. And a couple of folks asked for introductions to our expert contributors. We're going to be talking with Mark Haye, financial advising expert here, 21st Century Financial Group. We're going to talk about tax strategy to reduce your exposure. Also some payroll ideas there as well coming up here with Mark. Before we do, we always like to feature a couple of our listings, and it's part of our strategy to help our sellers sell faster for more money, utilizing our innovations with radio, TV, and internet marketing. 605 Monterey Avenue. This is a beautiful home in Clearwater. I love the floor plan. You walk in, it's just a wide open, beautiful floor plan. If you go out to the patio area, you've got your own private lanai with a screened-in pool, corner lot location. There's no neighbor on one side there. Beautiful property, non-flood zone, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2163 square feet. Beautiful home right here in Clearwater at 605 Monterey Avenue, Clearwater, Florida. Beautiful property. You got a circular driveway and a large courtyard in the front, and just a lot of updates and upgrades throughout that home as well. 605 Monterey. Beautiful property here in Tampa Bay. We also have another home at 6101 34th Street West. That's unit number 6H. This is compliments of Linda from the Platinum MVP team. And Livian Coastal Elite is our new brand as well. This is a beautiful home in Bradenton, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, almost 1,800 square foot home. Great opportunity. It's in a gated community of Vizcaya, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, plus a bonus room, 1,793 square feet at 34th Street West, unit number 6H in Bradenton, Florida. Great opportunity to own real estate. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Sun is shining, the weather is sweet. All right, a couple of stories I want to get to also. Twitter won't pay Google. This is kind of an interesting story between a couple of tech giants there. Before we do, I want to introduce Mark Haye. Welcome back, sir.
How you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Excellent. Blessed and highly favored, my friend.
Absolutely. Amen to that.
Yeah, yep. So you got some good strategies for us today. That's why I love you come in with all this great content and ideas around these different areas happening, different things happening in the economy. I was kind of mentioning before the show, I don't feel there's a couple of stories out that talk about inflation cooling to 2-year lows. Inflation slowed in May to its lowest annual rate since 2021, according to the Labor Department. But it just seems like so many people are like me now. I don't trust a lot of what the government says.
I mean, I don't know if he went out and bought beef in the last week, but that is certainly not cooling off.
Oh, yeah.
Beef
filet,
is through the roof right now.
I had a filet. Got a couple fillets the other day. And, if it's just me, I'll eat one, freeze one, leave it in the freezer. But, gosh, I want to say it was like $37 for two little fillets,
Insane. Well, that it goes to, they supposedly all the cattle burned up and died in Texas and everything else. And all of a sudden now we're feeling that, and then the eggs was a situation. So, I don't know. For them to say that inflation's cooling, I mean, ask any typical American and ask, hey, when you go to the grocery store, did you see it cooling off yet? And it's definitely not cooling off.
Especially think about, some of the guys that have, they got a truck and a trailer out there cutting grass all day, sweating it out in the sun, weed eating and, edging driveways. Those people like that. That's hardworking Americans that, they're noticing it, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everybody notices it. And that's why we're kind of talking about business ownership today and hiring your kids. To alleviate some of the pressure of the taxes that you're paying. And one strategy that we use for clients is hiring your kids. It could be any age. And I know you have a young son, and I know there's people in the studio that have kids. And you can pay them $12,950 a year.
Nice.
Okay? Tax-free. So your business writes that off. All right, let's just round it to $13,000 for simple math. If you had 2 kids, now you're at $13,000. That's $26,000 a year you can write off your business. Goes to the kids tax-free. They don't even have to file a tax return.
Wow.
Because it's all tax-free under that threshold.
That's great.
Okay? So, for example, if you have a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, you say, well, how can I hire my kid? And you're in real estate, and certainly you could hire a kid to do advertisement. He's a model in my advertisement in this Instagram, social media, radio, whatever you want to do. I'm going to hire my kid to do that. And, you may think he's worth $13,000 for that modeling situation, but if you did it every quarter and paid them $3,000 every quarter, and that equals $12,000. You just hit your max. You're getting there. So you get the point.
I love that.
Now, once the kids get it tax free, then the clients are always like, "Well, I could put that money into an IRA." You could, but remember, we got it tax free, and so there's no reason to put it into a taxable account because later an IRA is going to be taxable.
Yeah.
So what we tell people is put it into a Roth IRA, which is tax free, or you can put it into life insurance retirement plan, which is fully liquid. So you got a 1 or 2 year old and say, look, I want to put $12,000 a year for my kid because I'm going to write that off my business, and I want to put in that life insurance policy that's earning cash value. If you did that for 18, 20 years, they would have $250,000 sitting in there, growing tax-free forever, completely liquid.
Wow.
They could start a business, buy a home, go to college, whatever they want to do, and not have to wait till 59 and a half and not have to all these things happening that you got to follow these rules.
Right.
And the good news is they'll go off, get married, and they already have permanent life insurance. They don't got to go buy it because you did that when they were kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, one of the cool things about it is you have to actually put your kids to work. So whether it's, he's going to be a model or she's going to be a model for my business, or they're going to answer phones, clean the office, go out in the lawn and cut the grass and weed and clean the cars, whatever that is, it teaches them to work.
Yeah.
Then it shows them getting paid. And then it shows them going into an account earning money. And it's such a good opportunity to teach kids at a very young age, because our school system doesn't teach finance, economic at all, which is a huge problem, which is why we have the situation we have today with retirement planning and planning, et cetera. But it gives them an opportunity to do things and responsibility and work and save and see that happening. And it gives them such a fast forward in life that if my parents would have did that when I was a kid, at 22 years old, I got $250,000 sitting here, and it's tax-free, and I can access to it, and I can go start a business, and I can do all this stuff. That's a heck of a launch into life.
Yeah.
All the while, your business took the write-off.
Yeah, fiscal literacy. I think that's, a term that a lot of people would like to see in schools. Maybe a little more fiscal literacy and a little less indoctrination. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little less on this DEI, gender affirming care type scenario. We're talking with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group, longtime friend of the program, and he's our go-to guy for everything when it comes to, financial advice. Speaking of that, Mark, what kind of advice are you giving out, for people that say, hey, I'm working hard. I pull some money out of my paycheck. I put it into this little plan I have over here, but I don't feel like I'm getting there.
Yeah. Well, we have that conversation a lot with clients, and right now it is tough. But the problem is people are spending money and not stopping, not cutting, and so they're charging. And we talked about that before. I think the credit card debt got over $1 trillion or something stupid with consumer. 1.2
That's
trillion.
Right. Yep.
Which is the highest it's ever been, which is insanity. And then some of these credit card interest rates have gone up so much on these clients and on these people. We're talking 22, 26% interest rates annual on these credit cards. And all the money they're making is going to pay that. So, again, if you own a business and you need ways to save money, hire your kid. Hire your kid. You just save $13,000 off the top of your gross. You're giving your kids tax-free money. And make them go and pay for things with that money. Make them go buy a new iPhone, or make them go buy food that they want, or fast food, or clothes, so they can get understanding of the cost of goods, the value of a dollar. And so it teaches them so much that at a young age, and gives them that money's growing tax-free and coming to them. And what an opportunity to teach your kid entrepreneurship, get them in your business. And I know most people, and you're probably the same, Brandon, too, most people want their kids, their son, their daughter, to go into their business, take over the business, and have that be their legacy.
Right.
What a great way to start at 1, 2, 3, 5 years old, and get them into that business and get them working and getting doing things, paying them, having these accounts set up for them, and having them pay for things with their money.
That pride of ownership.
Absolutely.
They have that pride. I remember when I was growing up, we would go out and, since I could get on a lawnmower, man, I was out there cutting grass, changing locks, doing the foreclosure business with my dad. And we knew that if it wasn't, if we weren't, especially during the summertime, if we weren't involved in a sport, we had to go to work with him. So we found many ways to stay active with some type of a sport. Got into wrestling, of course, basketball, all the different, traditional sports, and even rodeo and stuff. But yeah, so hey, look, if you're going to be in a sport, and if not, you're going to work with me.
Yeah, and I like that. Keep them active, keep them out of trouble. In today's day and age, with all this social media and internet, I mean, these kids know how to do internet, social media, YouTube better than you and I do.
Exactly.
So you got an 8, 9-year-old, and they're interested in YouTube, and you say, okay, I'm going to pay you to start your own YouTube channel, do videos, and I'm going to do that with the business. Now all of a sudden they're becoming a little entrepreneur. They have their little videos. They're making content. They could, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with them.
Yeah.
But it's just such a good opportunity, and especially in the day and age right now where we're trying to look for ways to save money, avoid taxes, give our kids a head start. It's just such a good opportunity. And certainly if you have multiple kids, now all of a sudden you're going to be saving a lot of money.
Creates discipline.
A lot of discipline, responsibility, saving, etc.
You need that discipline, and that'll get them going at an early age. All right, so something I wanted to hit on today, it was interesting kind of, so there's this country singer called Aaron Tippin. He wrote a song, You've Got to Stand for Something. With all this woke left radical stuff going on in the country, I printed out the lyrics today, and I just wanted to read these to you. So this is Aaron Tippin. This song's, probably from the 90s maybe early 2000s. But it just talks about the values, right? It says, now Daddy didn't like trouble, but if it came along, everyone that knew him knew which side that he'd be on. He never was a hero or this county's shining light, but you could always find him standing up for what he thought was right. And then the chorus is, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. You've got to be your own man, not a puppet on a string. Never compromise what's right and uphold your family name. You've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So that's just the first, little bit of that song. But, what does that make you think about when you relate that back to where we are here in 2023 as Americans being bombarded by these large multinational corporations, Target, Bud Light. Target, by the way, what's their latest number? 13 trillion roughly?
They're not getting any better right now. And there is Bud Light. They're big. And we talked about it last time. They're big. Target's big. But the problem is if you lose the customers, how do you get them back?
Right.
So, the easy way to buy things is Amazon.
Yep.
And if you get people away from the big stores like a Target and Walmart's and whatever, and they're going online, sitting at home, just ordering all this stuff, why would they go back in the car, drive over to Target, fight the line, fight this? I mean, I don't see how they can get them back unless they do something drastic.
Well, it's true. What you're saying there is a major point. We're creatures of habit. So they basically train that habit. And now a lot of people are going to be doing that, just like you 100%. Said. Oh, I thought, like over the weekend, I thought of something I needed by my dock on the water. You always have these birds dropping stuff. So I went on, I looked, and boom, there's this little metallic thing. It spins like this, and it supposedly keeps the birds away. I didn't drive to the store and go look for it. I just went on my phone and did it.
Yeah, and people would have driven to the store, because it's something to do, and they enjoy it. They go shop. I'm going to go to Target, but now
maybe take their kids with them.
Yeah, maybe take their kids with them, and you can pay them. But now with everything that's happening, you're going to go to different means to get that done, and now the means is so convenient to sit at home and do the shopping, and then Amazon's very good at returning things, and this don't fit, or I don't like it.
Exactly.
And it's you don't have to haggle it, you don't have to go back in.
Yep.
So my thing is, I think Bud Light will bounce back. I mean, that's a beer is beer. They're going to bounce back, and they'll fix it. Hopefully, they'll fix it. I don't know how Target bounces back.
Yeah,
because the real estate alone is so expensive to have that massive units everywhere. And then to compete against Amazon when you're running the customers away.
And that trend was already happening.
Yeah.
People were already doing less drive to the store, walk in, get the cart, drive, the whole, put it on the thing. No, I'd rather have it delivered to the house.
Yep.
By the way, it's probably cheaper because I don't have to pay the storage and stocking and handling.
100%. But so I think a Bud Light is easier to get back than a Target.
Possible. Yeah.
Just because of that. Expense.
When I think of drink a cold beer, man, like a light or a Coors Light I can't really tell that much difference. Now I know some people say, "Oh, I love this kind, I love that kind," but can you really tell that big of a difference? Right?
I'm not a big beer guy, so I don't know, but I just see them bouncing back a lot easier than it would a store.
No, I got you.
That's a storefront.
That's a point well taken. All right, Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, also Twitter won't pay Google. This is an interesting story. You got two tech titans here that are kind of saying, we're not. How is he not going to pay him? I don't know what's going on with this. Well, I'm going to have Mark take a look at this with me and see what he thinks as well. Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group here, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about Twitter, Google, find out what's going on here, and also a couple other tips on the financial advising side and your retirement plan. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Twitter won't pay Google. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Before we do, we got Mark Haye in the house, 21st Century Financial Group. A couple of hot listings from our Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, also Livy and Coastal Elite. We like to feature our listings. Part of our strategy to help sellers sell faster for more money. If you're thinking about selling a property, we'd love to talk to you and help you maximize the exposure and the profit on the sale of your real estate as well. We got a property at 3413 Lake Palermo Road in Waimama. This is a Hillsborough County home, executive style property, beautiful home here with a pool, Mediterranean style beauty, located in a gated community, open concept gourmet chef's kitchen, wraparound patio, private pool, hot tub, and an outdoor kitchen. 3413 Lake Palermo Road, Waimama, Florida, and Hillsborough County. One of our beautiful listings here in Tampa Bay. 37716 Beth Street in Dade City, another property that we just did a price reduction on. This is another beautiful home in our northern part of our listening audience. Zoned agriculture, you got 3.3 acres. This is a beautiful home with a carport, located just 2 miles from the historic and trendy downtown Dade City. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. You do have it plumbed for a second shower. 37716 Beth Street in Dade City. You can see all of our listings, platinummvpteam.kw.com. Somewhere sunny and 75. All right, Mark Haye is going to talk about this one with a story here. With the contract renewal deadline for this month and a previous attempt to renegotiate it earlier this year, Twitter has declined to pay its bills for Google's cloud business, reports Platformer, a decision that could directly impact the social platform's trust and safety teams. Twitter has worked with Google Cloud for years as it hosted some services to help the company combat harmful content, fight against spam, and protect accounts. Also, last March, Twitter also owed Amazon Web Services at least $70 million on top of the other payments for its cloud services, which resulted in Amazon threatening to withhold money from advertising on the platform. Kind of interesting, interesting development. Twitter reportedly declined to settle its account. How do they just say I'm not going to pay it?
Well, I do think. Obviously, we don't know everything from that statement, so we don't know what's happening.
Right.
But I do know Elon Musk is not stupid.
Yeah.
You can't become the largest, the most wealthiest person in the world and be dumb.
Yeah.
And he's went in Twitter and he's just been hands-on going through everything. So there's obviously something there he doesn't like.
Right.
Either they're getting charged too much, or as we know, Google is somewhat in bed with maybe the wrong people, I should say, as far as politicians, et cetera. And he maybe doesn't like that.
Yep.
I know Amazon is pushing or having like a cloud system as well, like Google. Mm-hmm. And he may be switching over to Amazon and trying to reconfigure a deal with Google to get less. But $70 million for a cloud, it seems like a lot of money. I don't know anything about tech or this and that. And I heard something. Data. Yeah, I heard something like they pay $500 million a year or something to Google Cloud or some crazy number. And I'm thinking, man, why would it be that much?
Yeah,
to hold. I don't know.
It's basically like servers. Yeah, I think it's just servers sitting in this air-conditioned space somewhere holding all this data.
Yeah, that's a ton of money. And so I know if just like you and I look at it and go, holy moly, $70 million this quarter or $500 million a year to do that. There's got to be a better way or something cheaper. So I think what he's doing is trying to negotiate with Google, and I think that he's actually trying to shop it to see if he can get something better.
Yeah, it's the same thing like Trump with Art of the Deal, right? I read that book years ago. I need to probably brush up on it again, but he renegotiated deals on a lot of different buildings, the ice rink in New York City.
Well, look at Air Force One.
Yeah.
You remember when Boeing came out and said it's going to be X amount of dollars? He goes, they don't cost that much. He has his own private fleet. He knows what a plane costs.
Right.
You're not going to take it and charge the taxpayer X amount of dollars. And then they came down way down on the price to where it should have been.
I love that story.
No other president did that.
Right.
They just write the check. The taxpayers pay it. Taxpayer pay it. They don't care.
They don't even know to do that.
No,
right?
You're 100% right.
They're basically ignorant to the fact that, that's something I could probably negotiate.
Yeah, but they don't care because they're not writing the check. It's a taxpayer writing the checks. They don't care.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I use that example to go back to Elon saying he's probably looking at going, wait a second. They don't cost this much. Yep. This guy's smart. You know what I mean? He's into tech. He's into all this stuff. He knows what it costs.
Right.
So to me, when I read that thing, I'm thinking, I don't think Twitter's just going to not pay a bill.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to be negotiated because I think he's paying too much.
That's probably
for
what
that
it is.
storage,
Yeah.
and he knows it.
Exactly.
But the media doesn't like Elon anymore, so they're not going to put him on like, oh, Elon Musk is doing this to, no, Elon Musk is not paying his bill anymore. Okay.
They're picking favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
They pick their favorites. They run with their narratives. Absolutely. Very similar. I was listening to Andrew Tate being interviewed on the Bet David podcast the other day, last night actually, and wow, same thing. The BBC has done to that guy essentially what the media in America has done to Trump.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you love or hate Trump. It doesn't matter to me. But watching what they're doing to this guy, it's like at this point, I'm just yelling mercy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, leave this guy alone. Like today, he's supposed to, be arrested today and brought in again on charges, and he's looking at 600 years of prison and this and that. It's like
Espionage Act.
Yeah, and what bothers me is the Durham report comes out a couple weeks ago, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
And nobody is even mentioning it, and that's that's the biggest political scandal probably in U.S. history. What happened?
In Grassley, just yesterday, Burisma executive who allegedly paid Biden has 17 audio recordings of conversations, and he calls it an insurance policy. So you got smoke and guns over here on this side. You got Hillary wiping laptops, but they go after Trump over some overdue library books.
And every time Trump goes through this, and then we find out, well, Trump was right. He was telling the truth. They were lying. It was all set up. Just like the Russian, the Mueller situation and the Durham report.
Yep.
The only people that weren't involved was Trump and Russia.
Yeah.
But yet we're going to go after Trump and Russia.
Yep.
But now here we are. We know the truth. Why are we not going after the people that actually did it? Why do we keep going?
State, man.
It's insane. And to watch it, it's just like, I just hope Donald Trump keeps going. Because if I'm him, I'm just putting the white flag up and saying, I've had enough. You know what I mean? I'm done.
30 seconds back to you. How do you want folks to connect, and what can you do for them?
Yeah, certainly reach out to me at 727-804-7220, and we'll certainly help you with your business and saving money on taxes and setting up plans for family and everything else. But 727-804-7220.
And what's the website?
XXIFinancial.com.
All right, that's Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We always talk about supporting the local economy also by supporting our show partners. We had Mike Murphy on the show earlier offering a couple of Rays tickets as well. We got another giveaway going on thanks to Mike Murphy, Murphy Auto Group, Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group as well. Think about that tax strategy that we covered here on the show. Put your kids on the payroll, and that might be a good idea for you if you are self-employed. Mark, always a pleasure having you, man.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All right. Hey, another great show. Thanks to our producers, the whole team. Thanks to all of our listeners, viewers out there. Please consider committing that random act of kindness we always talk about, and pray for our country. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play.